We're talking today on tapasya. Tapasya is one of the niyamas, and it means many things. Mostly, it means fire, how to create fire, how to spark yourself from the inside, how to burn away impurities that hinder us from seeing our true light. And it is discipline as well, self-discipline. So I commend you all. I was thinking on the way in how hard it is to show up on your mat at home. At home, it's harder to show up than it is to come to a yoga studio and get in your car and drive somewhere. At home, there's so many distractions of other things that you could be doing, but to really make time to sit is tapasya in of itself. So let's start there and just allow your eyes to close. We're going to begin some pranayama exercises. So have your comfortable seat and sit tall through your spine. Let your eyes close. And while you're settling, I'm going to light the fire on the altar, lighting some candles. So begin your breath. Creating the sound of ujjayi if you're not already there. And the ujjayi sparks that fire inside, this internal fire. Last night, on a very cold night, we had a fire going in the fireplace, and I got to, really sit and watch it. I think fires are like babies. You can just watch them eternally. They're so fascinating. In the yogic text, it says that each of us has the luminosity, the brilliance of 1,000 suns inside of us. 1,000 suns inside of us. Just imagine that. This part of you that's already there, and it's nothing you have to achieve, just simply opening up to it. The fire of 1,000 suns inside of you. So if you are pregnant, you would skip this next round. We're going to do a forceful exhalation through the nose called Kapalabhate. Continue there, forcefully exhaling. If you go slow enough, you can keep exhaling and let the inhale take care of itself. Few more rounds. Keep exhaling. The inhale happens passively. And release. Inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through your mouth all the way out. Hold the breath out at the bottom for a moment. Inhale to 2/3 capacity. Hold at the top. Hold. And release the holding. When the need for breath is strong, release and relax. So if you find you need an inhale in the middle of Kapalabhate, it means you need to slow down those expulsions. Try Vastrika breath next. You'll start with your soft fists at the top of your shoulders. So have your elbows out to the sides. Make soft fists right at your shoulders. And this one, you sharply inhale through your nose and raise your arms up, open your fingers. And then as you exhale, exhale through the nose, just like Kapalabhate. Bring your hands down to your shoulders again. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. A little faster. And slow again. Two more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale through your mouth as your arms lower all the way down to your lap. Exhale through your mouth. Hold the breath out for a moment or two and watch. When the need for breath is strong, breathe in, but only breathe into 2/3. Hold in at the top. And release your holding. So this tapasya is an inner fire. We have to find our way, our own way from inside. Nobody can do it for us. And yet we can use certain practices to find it. We're going to do one more here. It is based in the Kundalini method starting with goalpost arms, palms face forward. Have your elbows up at the height of your shoulders so you're straight out from the sides. And so everyone starts to the right side. So I'm going to be opposite you here, but you turn to the right and inhale through your nose, and then sharply turn to the left and exhale a short exhale in your mouth. So turn to the right, inhale, left. You can close your eyes here, or you can keep your eyes forward at one point, or you can turn your head as you go. Inhale, exhale. Last two. Now straighten your arms, pull all your fingers in, but thumbs up. Make a V. Soften your shoulders down your back, but push out through your knuckles. Close your eyes and stretch the crown of your head higher to the sky. Shoulders down, but crown of the head reaches up. Breathing here, normally, breathing. And release, lower your arms down, palms face up on your lap for a moment with your eyes closed. Feel, so hopefully you'll feel some heat around your midsection right about now. Lift your knees up together and bring your feet to the front end of your mat and grab behind your thighs here. So we're going to take it to a balance. Lean your shoulders back, raise your legs up, and stay with bent knees for this variation. Use your hands to draw your low back in. So everything I'm saying is an option for you. And everything I'm saying is sequential, so it builds upon the next thing. One is always your breath. How is your breath? If that's all you can concentrate on, just concentrate on making steady, deep breaths in and out. And then everything else is an add-on. If you can keep your legs up by themselves, extend your arms out from your shoulders with your palms facing in. Draw your low back in, shoulders onto your back. Now try spreading your toes. Now maybe try the Kapalabhate here. at your ankles. Again, you can cross the other way. Lean forward from your hips and bow forward. Bow over your legs. Let your arms outstretch forward. If you wish, bow your chin to your chest and take some breaths. So also last night I got to eat this beautiful, it was a white bean turkey chili from Whole Foods. I bought last time I took a trip out to Rhode Island. It came in the prepared food section where you used to get your own soup. Now they have it all on the side already prepackaged. And it was blended so beautifully. And it's, you know how it got that way? It got cooked. All those separate ingredients in the chili, the herbs, the beans, the turkey, everything came in as a separate thing. And then it cooked together and it became something new. And the longer, a chili or a soup can sit, the more those flavors meld together and it becomes even more delicious after a day or so. Walk your way back up, and we'll try it one more time. Lean into your sitting bones, raise your legs up. Now, if this is too much for you, you keep your heels down. If you want another layer still, try straightening your legs more. It doesn't matter what variation you're at. How's your breath? You can have hands on or extend your arms straight out from your shoulders. You can stay with Ujjayi breath, which was one I would suggest, unless you want to try Kapalabhate again. Straight legs this time. Inhale, raise your arms straight up from your shoulders. In Dandasana, this is called staff pose. We're going to stay here. So remember your shoulder blades sliding down your back. Push into your sitting bones, the backs of your thighs. Sit up taller. Close your eyes. So we build the heat by holding. If you need to do less, you can bring your arms down. Close your eyes, try your Ujjayi. Keep relaxing your shoulders and reaching up through your fingertips if your arms are lifted. Push down into your seat, into your legs, into your heels to lift your torso even taller. Release your arms down to your sides. So burning away impurities, it's a physical thing, but it's also mentally emotional, right? To hang in there, to notice how your mind beats you up sometimes. How can you just hang out with something even if it's uncomfortable? Turn your fingertips in toward your hips and have your wrists as wide as your shoulders so as you push down into your arms, lift your chest up. So that's phase one. The head doesn't just tip back, but the ears draw back and you're using neck muscles to hold the head up. Gaze is slightly up. Now point your toes deeply. Push into your seat, push into your hands, and really arch your upper back. To go deeper, root into your heels to lift your hips up for Purvottanasana, inclined plane. We won't hold as long as Dandasana, so don't worry. Release slowly, landing your hips back down, arms up and overhead, and then bow forward, reach for your toes. Arms to the ceiling. Lower by tucking your tail. Keep your shoulder blades up, your head up, and pulse up to the ceiling. And then lower your head, shoulders, and arms overhead. Breathe in and raise your arms and chin up. Exhale and pull towards your toes. Stretch long and forward. Breathe into Dandasana again, sitting straight up. Lower slowly down. Find a pause with your shoulders up and lift straight up to the ceiling. And then lower your head, lower your arms. Try it one more time. Arms up, head up, look toward your toes and reach. Stretch out long. Breathe into the top. And lower your arms, just your arms down. Lean back into your hands. Any way you want to lean this time. Bend at your knees. And with your feet wide, drop your knees right and left. So both to the right and both to the left. Have your feet wide. As your knees go all the way to the right side, next time, stay there, both knees to the right. And bring your left hand all the way around to meet your right hand. Walk into your twist with your hands close into your body. Lift up through the crown of your head and bring your chin way off toward your right shoulder. Walk your hands away from your body as the next level with straight elbows, or drop onto your right elbow, or drop onto your left elbow. Stay still or rock a little bit side to side. So building heat in the body takes discipline, takes focus. Mostly it takes concentration. Something we can do for ourselves. But what gets in the way? In yoga language, it's tamas, tamasya. Tamas is lethargy. Not, you don't have enough energy to do anything. Take 2 more breaths. If you want to lay your belly and chest all the way to the floor, try that out. And then release, walk up onto your hands, push into the floor and unwind. Tip your knees to the left side. Bring your right hand around to the left and start up tall. Maybe to tense your hands, tense your fingers so your palms are up. Look way to the left side. And then travel your hands forward, more pushing into the floor. Take a twist. Lower onto your forearms or onto blocks. Stay still or gently rock your torso, inviting in some release. Last couple breaths on this side. Take it long and deep. And then walk up onto your hands, unwind, and set up in a bound angle pose next with the soles of your feet together. Open your knees, grab onto the front of your shins and sit up tall through your spine. As you sit up tall, almost like you're leaning back. Try to keep that uprightness in your spine. And it's also fine to sit on something. To sit on a blanket can really help your low back. I'm going to mirror you, so you lift your left knee up and slide your right foot under. Once the right foot's under, for balance, flex your left foot and see if you can reach down for the big toe and pinky toe side of the foot. If you can't, you can also grab the back of your thigh. Lean back like we were doing earlier to balance and lift your heel up. This time, push your foot out into your hand. So you're trying to get a stretch to the hamstring now. And the hamstring doesn't want to be pushed. So be gentle with your hamstring. When we practice tapasya, this discipline of action, it's very important to remember the nonviolent aspect of the practice, to do good by yourself. And that really means to be super mindful how you're moving, how you're breathing. That's what we're ultimately practicing here. Cross your right hand to the pinky side of your left foot and bring your left hand behind you for support. Cross your foot across the midline with the leg as straight as possible, and then twist to the left side. Look over your back shoulder. Unwind to middle, bend the knee, and bring the soles of your feet back together again in bound angle pose. And then try the other side. Lift your right knee first, slide the left foot under. And that's just for balance. Flex your front foot, grab for the foot or behind your thigh. And then similar to the boat pose we did, you lift up and start pushing your foot out into your hand. The leg doesn't have to go straight. You don't want it to go straight if it's not ready to, I promise you. But if you do have a straight leg and you want more, try bending your elbows. That'll give you a little bit more. Deep breath here. Breathe into the tightness that you're feeling, wherever it is. Cross your left hand to the pinky side of your foot and prop your right hand behind you. Cross your foot across your body and then turn your torso away from your foot. And release, come back to center and Badakanasana. Hold on to your ankles, sit up tall, and as you lean forward with a flat back or as flat as you can. Push into your seat, out through your knees, lift through your spine, and lean forward, arc forward. One more breath. Draw in at your navel. Have the discipline to pull the navel in before you rise. Hold that. Raise your knees up together. And next transition to table pose. Come on to all fours. You're just going to do a few hip stretches here. To begin with, start with your right knee out to the right side, called fire hydrant. And as the knee lowers, hover the knee and the foot. Open, don't bend your elbows, keep your elbows straight and lift this maybe the height of your hip or not. And go one more time. Next time the knee lifts, pause, and then circle from your hip 3 times one direction. And 3 the other. Now, snuggle your right knee behind your left knee and walk your hands back, hips toward your heels. Look forward, and with your top knee lifted away from the floor, lay your belly and chest over your thigh, and with straight arms forward, push your hands into the floor, head down, and stretch. The hips go back, the arms push forward. And then release. Come back slowly onto your hands and knees. Unwind to table pose. And then try the other side. Lift your left knee out, hip height. As it comes down, hover the lower leg. Breathe into the top and out as you lower. Try to slow down the movement. Next time you lift, hold. And circle. Choose a direction. Turning 3-way. And 3 the other way. Bring knee behind knee. So left knee behind. It snuggles in. That's 1. You can stay there or walk your hands back so your front knee actually lifts away from the floor if that's okay for you. 3, you lean over your lap, bow forward, get your chest and your thigh as close as possible. Stretch your arms forward so your elbows are straight and push your hands into the floor as you bow chin to chest. Release, come middle, unwind. And now from table, transition into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Feel free to bend one knee at a time and walk your heels. Bring your hands and feet together. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Stay there. Stay forward and sweep your arms behind you, fingertips up to the ceiling. Now stay forward, swing your arms forward so they come in line with your ears, and then come into Utkatasana. Bend your knees, lift your chest, lift your arms up. Stretch your hips back, stretch long and forward, fold down, arms sweep to the sky. Bring your arms forward in line with your ears so you lift everything in one unit. Bend your knees, awkward pose. Just one more, bowing in. Lift your upper body up in one unit, pause, and Kapalabhate here. Inhale, straight legs up. Exhale through your mouth as you swan dive. Inhale, come to a half forward bend and hold the breath in. Exhale and fold. Inhale as you reverse swan dive, meet your palms overhead. Exhale, hands lower, heart center. So feel that, feel the energy that you've created. It comes from the inside. We have to take action to open it up. It takes effort. And yet there's so much benefit that comes from moving and breathing in this way. Release your arms, standing in your mountain pose. Lean your body weight to your left leg. Eyes are soft, ahead at a drishti, a gazing point. Lean left and feel your right leg get lighter and lighter until maybe you can bend the knee forward in front, having your knee come straight out from your hip. If you're there, interlace beneath your thigh, and then sit up tall through your spine. Draw your shoulders back. You can stay here with a bent knee, or as you push your thigh into your hand, that can help open the leg. You can keep hold with your hand, or stretch both arms straight up from your shoulders. And then everyone, fly your arms to the side, rebend the knee if it's not already bent, and lead the right heel behind you, set up for Warrior 3 variation. So you can have your arms back like jet airplane wings, or you can reach your arms straight forward, thumbs to the ceiling, push into your standing leg, pivot your back toes down. Concentrate and breathe, push into the floor. Come back in front with a bent knee, arms overhead. And then choose to stay bent or extend the leg one more time. And release. Lower your leg, your arms to your sides, and stand in your mountain pose. That in of itself took a lot of discipline and focus. So you've got it going on. Try the other leg. Eyes are soft. Make sure your eyes stay soft. If your eyes start getting hard, soften your gaze. Shift your weight. Feel the lightness of your left leg before it lifts. And then bend the knee forward. Interlace behind your thigh. And by pushing your thigh down into your hands, you can lift your spine, draw your shoulders more back, your ears back. Stay bent or straighten. Keep hold beneath your thigh or open your arms up. Bend your knee if it's straight. Open your arms and fly to Vira 3, rooting into your right big toe ball mound. Don't let the right big toe ball mound lift at all. Have discipline. Make this determined effort. We're becoming people of character and strength. Even if you fall out of the pose, you just come back in with just as much mindfulness. Come back in front again with a bent knee. Maybe straighten the leg. For 3, 2, and 1. Land everything back down into mountain pose and try closing your eyes for a moment. Feel a little deeper. Feel the energy that you've created. It's this inner transformation. We're in a crock pot for this hour or so. Step to the front of your mat space and bring your palms to meet together in front of your heart. Breathe in, stretch your arms up and overhead and lean back slightly. And then reach your heart forward on the swan dive, fold all the way to the earth. Look forward, inhale, exhale and fold, and step your right leg back into a lunge. You can always drop your knee to do a little less. Raise your arms up and overhead. Bring your hands down and interlace behind your back. Push your knuckles toward your back heel, drawing your shoulders back, and see if you can lean back ever so slightly. The back knee is up or down. Bow forward to the inside of your front knee. Drop your head to look toward your back toes and reach your knuckles to the sky. Everyone, hands to the floor on either side of your front foot. Step forward. Halfway lift and fold. Open your arms wide and touch your palms overhead. Lower them straight down your midline to heart center. Next breath in, sweep your arms up. Fold forward. Halfway lift. And bow, left leg back. Make sure your feet aren't one behind the other because that'll make it more difficult. Have some space. Stay on your back toes or drop your back knee. Arms go high first and then behind your back. Knuckles toward your heel. Draw your heart up, gaze up without compromising the back of your neck. You can stay here or hinge forward. Drop your head to the inside of your front knee. Don't worry about falling out. Just come back in again. Release hands to the floor and step your back foot to the front. Halfway lift and fold. Arms go wide and high, palms meet, and once again to heart center. Good. And then release your hands. Turn out to the long edge of your mat and open your feet wide apart. Maybe as wide as your wrists if you extended your wrists out, maybe not. And make sure your toes are not turned out. They should be straight or slightly turned in. Just work your arms as you inhale, stretch them forward, inhale to the top. Slow down the movement so it lasts for your exhale as you lower behind and down. So it's like a big backstroke. Breathe in, slow motion to the top of the breath and the bottom. So slow the movement down so you're actually in congruence with your own breath. So one more round. So Tapasya, right action, this time interlaced behind your back. Right action, like how we act in the world. Lift up, look up. It's discipline of bodily desires. Exhale, come forward. It's fine to bend your knees, no worries. And raise your knuckles to the sky. Head down. Take one more full breath in and out. Root into both legs. Look forward as you rise and come all the way back up. Release your arms. Rotate your right toes out to the right side and bend your right knee so it comes over your ankle. Raise your right arm straight up to the sky. And as you bend into your front knee, reach your fingertips up so you feel a lengthening along your side body. And then lean back ever so slightly. Bring your back arm up. Imagine you're creating a big O with your arms. Circle. They don't need to touch. It's an open O. And then as you exhale, bring your arms away from one another. But like you would do, lean your forearm on your thigh, but you're going to make the O down here. So you're actually not leaning on the thigh. Open, lift up, make your O overhead as you arc back and exalted. And see if you can slow motion, lean your torso towards your thigh and O. That's the beginning of the Om. We're going to do a little YMCA today. Last time up. And then warrior two, straighten your front knee. Trikonasana, lean toward your right leg like you're lying across the shelf. And then lower your hand either onto your shin, onto a block, or onto the floor. Push into your legs. Push the floor away. See if you feel that lengthen up through your spine. Turn your gaze up only if it feels okay on your neck. And then again, use your legs to lift you. Root down, rise back up. Arms come down and switch your legs out. So rotate your back, your front toes, turn in as you switch to the other side. Bend into your front knee, line your knee over your ankle, and make sure you can see your big toe to the inside of the front knee. Open your arms and just exalt your warrior here. So this one is an A, so you have to bend your elbows to make the A, and then bend your elbows. It's an upside down A. And we'll just move back and forth a few times here. It should have been A-O-M, not O-A-M, but whatever. Building abdominal strength through this exercise, not moving the legs, supporting your body through your core strength. Just try one more. Leaning back and forward. Back up, warrior two, and then extend the front leg straight. Lean toward that extended leg forward, and then pivot your bottom arm down, top arm up. Hopefully your arms can be one across from one another. Use a block to support you if the floor is too far away, or you can place your hand on your shin, but that's a little harder to do to keep balance. Push into your legs. Try to push the legs straight and turn from if your left leg's forward, it's your left waist that's turning out toward the right. Hang and breathe. So it's not tolerance is part of tapasya actually. Can you tolerate it? But instead of tolerating, I'd say breathe more consciously. See if you can hang out without fighting what's going on. And then 100% legs. Push the floor away. Lift yourself up. Release your arms. And walk your feet together. You can toe heel your feet together or step your feet together. Whatever works. Pause. So we've been working on opening up the hamstrings a little bit today and stretching the backs of the thighs, and also obviously some core work. And we're going to repeat what we did a few moments ago let me just model it really quick. I'm doing the super fast version. Stay here or leg straight. If you straighten the leg, then you go here. And then this is where you add on. You go 1, 2, 3, and try to drop your back toes, arms up. And then the hands interlace. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll step the feet together to do the other side. So start with your hands to your hips to begin. Use your hands on the rim of your hip bones and really push down with your hands. And see if you can make that go into your legs, where your legs are pushing down. Lift your underarms, shoulders back, ears back. Lean left and let your right leg get lighter so you can bend the knee in front. Keep it there or open the knee. If you have an open knee, rebend it. Open your arms back and fly your right leg back in Vira 3. So it's 3 breaths. I did it fast before, but try to bend your standing leg and hold. Bend your standing leg and hold. So your chest is going toward your thigh as you sink down. Step your back toes back. You could drop your knee and raise your arms up. Now you're in a lunge. Bring your hands behind your back to interlace. Push your knuckles towards your heels and look up. And hinge forward, bow down. Lift your torso up. See if you can step your back foot to the front and release your hands to your sides. Hands to your hips. Shift your weight right and bend your left knee forward. Bend or straighten your front leg. Bend the knee to fly the leg back. Spread your left toes to help engage all your leg muscles and take it to a flat back if you can. Hold here. Try bending your standing leg and hold. Bend a little bit deeper. Bend a little bit deeper, and then step your back toes to the floor. Fly your arms overhead. Hands behind your back to interlace. Knuckles root back, lift your gaze, look up. And then keep your chest open as you hinge back down, bow your head, knuckles high. Look in front of your front foot up your feet together and rise back upright, arms to your sides. With your eyes closed, can you feel all that adrenaline, the heat, the activity, this inner transformation? We're like that soup pot. We're literally being blended together in ways that we can't even comprehend. But it's certain transformation. We're all going through it right now. It's hard to see it while it's happening, but each of us is changing, hopefully in good ways. For a full sun salutation, bring your palms to meet. Stretch your arms overhead. Exhale to the floor. Halfway lift, look up, and fold. Step your right leg to a lunge, and your left leg to plank pose. You can drop your knees or lower through chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Raise your right leg to the sky, bend your knee, and set up for pigeon pose now. Bring your right knee to your right wrist. Walk your front foot forward to your own degree, super mindful of your own body. And if you want, tuck your back toes, push through your heel, and drop the knee a little further back. Lower slowly onto your forearms. And rock your hips a little side to side. So in yoga, there's discipline in our actions, right? Control of desires. We don't give in to every bodily desire we have. There's also right speech, like control of the language you use, even control of the tone of the voice you use. To really be disciplined in that takes a lot of effort. And then even harder is the right thinking. Discipline of your thoughts. So often it feels like the mind has us and we don't get to control where our thoughts go. But actually the yoga practice teaches us we can. Through the practice, through this discipline of practice over and over and over again, we come to this austerity, both in body, speech, and mind. Release the pose. Come onto your hands first. Lift your back knee and try to fly the right leg back and high to the sky. And downward facing dog. Feel your two sides before you switch. And then lift your left leg. Bend your knee and glide the knee wide to the left side of your mat. Walk your left foot forward and your right knee back. Square your hips to the front. Stay on your hands or lower onto your forearms. The tapas or heat in the body is also expressed if your body has a fever. Like your body is going to burn out that bug, you know. If you have an infection, the area becomes red around the cut. Because that's tapasya. It's trying to burn out the badness, burn out the impurities. And to some degree, that's what we do in our yoga practice. You're here, you don't realize you're burning impurities, but you are. Physically, mentally. Take one more breath. And release to exit, lean off to your left hip, swing your right leg around to the front. And grab behind your thighs again. Revisiting the boat pose, Navasana. Hold on behind your thighs as you balance or let your arms extend. So, even though we can't take a canoe out on the water right now, you can pretend you're one. So try to lower to the floor. Keep your legs hovering and your shoulders up, and then rebend your knees to come back up again. This is optional. Lower down almost to the floor, and then pull yourself up. Bend your knees. In, up and down. How many of these do you want to do? How about just 2 more? And then all the way to the floor. Go all the way down. Land, relax for a moment. And you should feel some heat in your midsection right about now. Feel that. You're stoking your own inner fire. The more you stoke it, the easier it is to stoke. If you haven't stoked it in a while, it feels like it's super hard. But the more often you do it, there's this good feeling that comes from it. Place your feet flat onto the floor with your knees bent and have your arms at your sides. Push into both legs, lift your hips up away from the floor, and interlace your hands behind your back. Try walking one shoulder under and then the other, chin to the sky, keeping the back of the neck lifted away from the floor. You never want the back of the neck in the floor where the chin's going to the chest. Instead, chin to the ceiling, but root your head straight back, push down from your shoulder to your wrist and into your legs to lift your hips up a little bit higher. If you want more, walk your left foot more to the middle of your mat, bend your right knee towards your chest, and then push up with your right leg. Push the foot up to the ceiling. And breathe. Rebend that knee. Place your foot down to the midline. Pull the left knee in if you're doing this variation. Push into your standing leg more, and you'll be able to stretch the top leg higher. Release both feet on the floor. One more press. Push into the floor. Everything that touches the floor roots down, and everything that's away from the floor lifts up. Release your hands. Roll down your spine. And bring your knees wide, soles of the feet together again in bound angle. Draw your knees back up together and both knees pull into your chest. Straighten both legs up to the ceiling and just hold the outsides of your thighs gently with your hands. Flex your feet like you're standing on the ceiling and try spreading the pinky toes. Pull the pinky toe side down to the floor, but push the big toe ball mounds up to the ceiling. And you should really feel your leg muscles engaged when you do that. Spread your toes. Open your legs wider now. You can support your legs with your hands, but let the legs go as wide as you can. Keep pushing your big toe ball mounds away from your body and get an opening through the whole inner thigh line. Breathe here. Engage the legs, push out, and breathe. You can use your hands to support your legs as much as you need to. Concentrate on your breath. Let everything else be secondary. Squeeze your legs together like there's a beach ball between them as you raise them back up to the ceiling again. Bend your knees into your chest. Hold on around both legs. And now keep your knees in, but open your arms straight out from your shoulders, palms face up. Lower your legs to your right side, but not all the way to the floor. Hover. And then squeeze your knees up to center and hover them over to the left side. So ideally, your upper body's not moving at all, just from your waist down. But most likely your ribs will kind of lift up. Try not to let your shoulders move at all. Keep your shoulder blades pressing down, your elbows, your fingernails pressed down, so that upper part of your body's not moving. And move side to side again. See if you got one more round in you to hover right and hover left. And then all the way to the right. Next time you go to your right side, your feet will land, your knees can land. You can put your right hand on top of your left leg to anchor your legs. And see where your head wants to roll. Does it want to roll right, stay center, or roll to the left? Open your right arm back to the floor. You can lift one knee at a time or lift both knees together and transition to the left. Knees left, left hand on top as an option. Roll your chin one way or the other and breathe. If you close your eyes here, it's going to allow you just to be a little bit more sensitive to what you're feeling. If you find the tightest spot and direct your breath into those tight muscles as you breathe in, watch them exhale. As you exhale, watch them dissolve a little bit, release a little bit. Release your pose and draw your knees back into your chest once again. Ending in a happy baby. So bring your knees wide apart. You could just hold them there or reach for the soles of your feet, pinky side or insteps. Aim your ankles right over your knees, which are wide. Use some arm strength to pull your knees down like they were going to land to the mat. Kick your feet up into your hands simultaneously. And aim your tailbone closer down to the floor. more breath. And release. Draw your knees side by side into your chest. And then see if there's any last minute movement or stretch that you would like before you head to relaxation. Take your time to settle. Cover yourself with a blanket when you're ready to relax. And give yourself some time to become calm. Letting go the effort, the action oriented aspect of the practice. This too is still practice. Shavasana is the pose that allows you to absorb, to let your cells absorb the cellular memory of everything that they've just done. All that heat that you built in your body, all those molecules of inner transformation can be dissipated to be spread out into the whole of your system. So from the core of the body, when we have a strong core, it emanates out. Everything else is stronger from the strong middle. But here, feel your abdomen softening. And that softening can also reverberate out to all the edges, all the ends of your being. Consciously be aware of your body. And if there's any place that you can deepen your relaxation at any point, go ahead and do so. I'm going to read a little bit while you're resting here. This book is Yamas and Niyamas by Deborah Adele. Tapas has the sense of cooking ourselves in the fire of discipline to transform ourselves. It is our determined effort to become someone of character and strength. Much like cooking an egg denatures the egg, changing it into a different structure. Tapas eventually changes our nature, turning us into a cauldron that can withstand any of life's challenges. Tapas is the day-to-day choice to burn non-supportive habits of the body and mind, choosing to forsake momentary pleasures for future rewards. Whether we practice tapas by showing up on our mat for regular posture practice, or through constant acts of selfless service. We offer ourselves to the higher version of us. We willingly stand the heat so that we might produce luscious bounty in our lives. This guideline not only speaks to our personal effort, but also to those cathartic times of hopeless desperation when we find ourselves in the pain of unexpected loss or debilitating sickness, or in the throes of a life that seems it has been turned upside down. It's almost as if God has checked the winds and started the fire, and we ourselves are the field that's being burned. None of it makes sense at the time. And yet, it is these times that shape and mold us into something of depth. Our debris gets burned away, and we're left more humbled and strengthened by the mystery of what is beyond our grasp of control or of understanding. It is these darkest times of pain and loss and confusion that weave something profound in us. We can't prevent these times of catharsis in our lives or know their shape or outcome, but we can prepare ourselves for them through daily practice, through building our ability to stay in unpleasantness, and through the small daily choices we make. The question becomes for us, what are we practicing for? Come back slowly with your breath. Little movement of fingers and toes. I'm going to share one more poem with you before we end. It's by Dana Folds from her first book, Go In and In. And it's entitled Awakening Now. Why wait for your awakening? The moment your eyes are open, seize the day. Would you hold back when the beloved beckons? Would you deliver your litany of sins like a child's collection of seashells, prized and labeled? No, I can't step across the threshold, you say, eyes downcast. I'm not worthy. I'm afraid. And my motives aren't pure. I'm not perfect. And surely I haven't practiced nearly enough. My meditation isn't deep, and my prayers are sometimes insincere. I still chew my fingernails, and the refrigerator isn't clean. Do you value your reasons for staying small more than the light shining through the open door? Forgive yourself. Now is the only time you have to be whole. Now is the sole moment that exists to live in the light of your true self. Perfection is not a prerequisite for anything but pain. Please, oh please, don't continue to believe in your disbelief. This is the day of your awakening. Find your palms to meet at heart center. An acknowledgement of that light, that fire, the truth of who we are that lives in each and every one of us. We acknowledge. Namaste. Thank you.